Hey guys, a lot of you have been asking me when I was going to put out a video. So I created a little 20-minute flow, mainly focusing on our lower legs and our core, getting our heartbeat up. So when you're ready, we will find mountain pose at the top of our mat and I will meet you there. So let's start by placing your toes next to one another and your heels are slightly apart. Inhale as you squeeze your legs, activating your core and your pelvic floor, tucking both your tailbone and your chin, and sending the crown of the head all the way up to the sky. Exhale, let it go. Try to keep this engagement as we move through our practice. When you're ready, inhale as you send your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale as you swan dive forward. Inhale, gaze up halfway. Exhale, walk, step, or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, come all the way to the top of your feet as you press your chest through. Upward facing dog. Exhale as you tuck the toes, lift the hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. Try to externally rotate those arms, creating a gap between the shoulders and the ears. Breathe here for 5 breaths. On your last inhale, let's slowly begin to gaze forward and exhale as you walk, step, or jump the feet forward. Good. Inhale, gaze up halfway. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale to gaze up halfway. Exhale to walk, step, or jump the feet back, lowering down. Inhale, flip to the top of your feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Breathe here for 5 breaths. Good. On your last inhale, begin to gaze forward and exhale as you walk, step, or jump the feet forward. Inhale, gaze up halfway. Exhale, Tadasana. We're going to do one more just like this. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, gaze up halfway. Exhale, walk, step, or jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale, flip to the top of your feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Breathe here for 5 breaths. On your last inhale, gaze forward, and exhale as you walk, step, or jump the feet. Inhale, gaze up halfway. Exhale, Tadasana. This time, if you have that block handy, go ahead and grab it and we'll place it right between your thighs, turning on those adductor muscles. And we're gonna continue to move through 2 more sun salutations. If you don't have a block, just continue to do what we've been doing previously. When you're ready, squeeze those legs and inhale as the arms come all the way up. And this time, sink those hips back for chair pose. Good. Exhale as you swan dive forward. Inhale, gaze up halfway. Exhale, try to keep that block between your legs as you jump all the way back, Chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Breathe here for 5 breaths. Keep squeezing those legs. On your last inhale, let's slowly begin to gaze forward. And exhale as you jump your feet between your hands. Inhale, sink the hips, lift the arms. Exhale, mountain pose. Last one, let's go. Inhale, arms come up, sink the hips back. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, gaze up halfway. Exhale, jump all the way back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Breathing here for 5 breaths. On your last inhale, begin to gaze forward. Exhale as you jump your feet between your hands. Inhale, sink the hips, lift the arms. Exhale, Tadasana. Good, let's place that block off to the side and come back to find our mountain pose. Inhale as the hands come to heart center. Slowly begin to reach that right leg all the way up as it finds a marching position. Exhale as you step that foot back, crescent warrior. Let's hold it here for 5 breaths. 5, 4, good. Keep sending that right heel all the way to the back of the room and stay low through that left leg. 2, and 1. Good. Inhale, send the hands to the hips, and we're going to pulse here for 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're not entirely done yet. Let's step that right foot forward to find our chair pose and hold our pose here for 3 breaths. Good. On our last breath, let's come high onto those left toes. And exhale as you step that left foot all the way back for crescent warrior. 5 breaths here. Keeping that core engaged. Let's find about 2 more breaths. Inhale as you send the hands to the hips and then pulse into that left leg for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Find our way back to chair pose. 3 breaths. Let's slowly begin to straighten those legs, keeping those hands down to the ground, pedaling out those feet, pedaling out your legs. And then slowly begin to come all the way to rise. Good. Inhale, hands come to heart center, left leg comes to a march. Exhale as you step that foot about 4 feet back, opening up to warrior 2, arms to a T. Breathe here for 3 breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale to flip that front palm. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Trying not to hold your breath here. Inhale, bring the arms back to a T. Exhale to find side angle pose. Shifting that upper body forward, dropping your elbow to the top of your thigh, or maybe sending that hand down to the ground. If you have a block handy, you can always place that just on the inside of your right foot. Keep breathing. Inhale as you come back to warrior 2. And then pivot onto your left toes, sending your left arm to meet the right. Find that point of focus. And then slowly begin to open up to the right for revolved side angle. From here, maybe you can send your hands to heart center, or maybe finding a bind, sending the crown of the head towards the front of the room. Breathe here. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. If you have that bind, slowly begin to release it. Windmill those hands down. Option to flow with me or meet in downward facing dog. Find 1 more breath. Inhale as you gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale as you walk, step, or jump those feet forward. Inhale, gaze up halfway. Exhale to rise. Good. Let's move to the other side. Inhale, hands come to heart center. A right leg comes to a march. Exhale, step that foot back about 4 feet, opening up warrior 2. Arms come to a T. Breathe here for 3 breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, flip that front palm. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Come back to your 3-part breath or your Ujjayi breath. Good. Inhale, bring the arms back to a T, and exhale to find extended side angle, shifting the upper body forward, dropping your elbow to the top of your thigh, maybe sending that hand down to the ground. If you have that block, you can send it on the inside of your right foot. Let's find one more breath. Inhale, come back to warrior 2. Pivot onto your right toes and send your right arm to meet the left. Good. Find your drishti here and then slowly begin to open up to the left for revolved side angle. Maybe, again, sending the hands to heart center or finding your bind. Breathing slowly. If you have that bind, go ahead and release it. We'll windmill those hands down. Option to flow with me or find downward facing dog. From here, we're going to move through 5 scissor kicks. If handstand is in your practice or you want to take the time to find another inversion here, please do. And for our scissor kicks, let's start on the right side. So in downward facing dog, we're gonna lift our right leg high to the sky. Put a small bend into that left knee, and with an explosive inhale, jump so that your right foot lands. And then move to the left and keep going. Maybe floating into a handstand. Maybe finding a smile. Maybe avoiding this part altogether. Keep moving until you're ready to find child's pose. And for the rest of our class, we're just gonna move a little bit slower. And once you get into your child's pose, slowly begin to sink your hips. Maybe resting them on your heels. If your shoulders need a rest, go ahead and send your arms alongside your body. And forehead comes to the ground. If your forehead doesn't quite reach the ground, you can stack the fists or place a block underneath. And slow down the heartbeat. Come back to your 3-part breath or your Ujjayi breath. Take an inhale. Hold it at the top of your breath and slowly beginning to exhale it out. Good. Inhale and exhale. Finding 3 more breaths on your own, just like this. If your arms are alongside the body, we'll slowly begin to send them out in front of you, pressing your hands into the ground. Begin to gaze forward and then move all the way up to find table. Inhale, right away, that right leg lifts up. Exhale, step it forward, low lunge. And then just to stretch out our quads a little bit, go ahead and tuck your left toes, bending your knee and reaching back for your toes. So from here, if you have a strap, you can always wrap that around your foot as well. And breathe into that thigh. Let's find one more breath. And then slowly begin to release that leg. Plant both hands down. And then sink your hips back, straightening out that right leg. Inhale. And exhale. If you can, maybe sending those hips all the way down to the ground. It's a little bit more intense on the hamstring. Keep sending breath to that area. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Let's come back to center, release your right leg down, and then switch sides. Inhale, the left leg lifts all the way up. Exhale as you step it forward, low lunge. Inhale as you tuck your right toes, bending into your knee and reaching all the way back. Breathing here. Notice if you can let those hips sink a little bit lower. Keep breathing. Good. Let's release your right leg. Plant both hands down. And then slowly begin to sink your hips back, straightening out that left leg. Breathing into your hamstrings. Notice if any thoughts have come into the mind, try to let them go. Come back to your breath. From here, if it's possible, lower all the way down to the ground, and then slowly begin to find a comfortable seated position. Maybe leaving those hands open in your lap or sending your hands to heart center. Let your breath come back to its natural inhales and exhales. Sending gratitude into the body. Think of one thing that gives you joy or one thing that makes you smile, and try to keep that with you. Let's find 5 more breaths together. Keeping your eyes closed, sending the crown of the head towards the ceiling, tucking that chin slightly. Let's take an inhale, fill the belly, fill the lungs, lift those collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage draws in, belly draws navel to spine. Inhale, belly rises, lungs expand, collarbones rise. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, and belly. Inhale, belly, lungs, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, and belly. Inhale, belly, collarbones, rib cage. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, and belly. Last breath. Inhale, belly, rib cage, and collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, and belly. Slowly begin to blink your eyes back open. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.